Hello, Uncle Sam FM here, and we are looking at, I believe, episode 6 of my Play MLS save. This is the reboot version after my first version crashed. And I am now up to the MLS All-Star game. This video is a couple matches earlier than what I thought it was going to be. But I figure since I'm managing in the MLS All-Star game, I'd go ahead and do a video now, and then we'll watch that game. Season's still going pretty well. I don't exactly remember where I was when we left off, but aside from that draw against the Galaxy, it's gone pretty swimmingly. In the Open Cup, we're in the semifinal now. We'll be playing at Colorado in the semifinal. Had a 1-0 win over FC Dallas in the first round, then ran away from both Philadelphia and Oklahoma City, which Oklahoma City is a USL club, which is the second division. So a little weaker team than facing an MLS side. But and the league's gone mostly well, but I am coming off of a tough loss to DC United. The defense has not been playing super well the last couple matches, and the DC United match, I actually fielded a weaker team, like I guess you call it my second team, and they did okay. But every time it looked like we sort of had things under control, DC United took it away. We went up 1-0, but then they equalized like 3 minutes later. Then right before the half, about 10 minutes before the half, I took the lead back, and then we gave it up, and then they scored the winner in like the 89th minute. So, that was not a good loss. I mean, it's on the road, but DC United is not exactly one of the top teams in MLS. And we'll look at the table now. So as you can tell, they're down near the bottom. They're one of the worst teams in the league. And so that was not a good loss to go and not only drop points, but to drop all of them. We get out of there with nothing. So that was not a good result. And as it stands right now, we're 1 point off the pace in the Western Conference. And Vancouver, we're 6 points up on them, but they also have 2 matches in hand on us. So it could be that that's even. But it's the first season. We're still ahead of where we would have thought. My squad is not. My squad is not the second best squad in the Western Conference. There's probably at least 4 or 5 teams that have better players than I do. So for us to be sitting where we are is acceptable. Not too terribly disappointed. We do have a couple of injuries that sting a little bit. We've had some guys injured that are now kind of coming off of those injuries. But Albert Elise his injury is now going to keep him out 2 to 4 weeks. That hurts. He's the league's leading scorer, so he's going to miss 3 or 4 games. So that blows. That sucks for us because he is, not a great player, but he's one of the better finishers in the league. He's got that 14 finishing. 11 composure could be better, but it's good enough to where when we get him the ball, he's going to do something with it. So to lose him, that hurts a little bit. I will say Sean Parker, who I loaned in, is really kind of just a replacement guy, just to kind of fill in. I can't even really describe, so he's got 4 goals in his 13 appearances. He's got 7 starts, 6 substitute appearances. So he's not even really one of my first team guys. But he's kind of this player who, when he's out there, you feel like he's just making things happen. I can't even really describe it. And you look at his attributes, and there's nothing really there that shows him as like somebody who's dominant. Those attributes are really underwhelming. Obviously he's got a high finishing and a decent composure, good pace, good acceleration, for MLS. But his mental attributes are not good at all. But there's just something about him when he's out there. He's making things happen. 4 goals, 3 assists. So he's been a pleasant surprise. it's kind of hard to say. I mean, there maybe some of those hidden attributes. Maybe he's high in hidden attributes, and that's why he's a difference maker. But he's definitely present. He's visible when he's on the field. You can tell that, hey, that guy's there and he's doing things. Some players you'll put out there and they'll just disappear, but he does not really do that. So he's been kind of been a good surprise. So I do hope to get him permanently, but I probably won't be able to. So we are playing the MLS All-Star game, and let me go ahead and apologize. I am a little under the weather. I've got about 3 different types of medications that I'm on to try and suppress my symptoms. But where I live right now, this is this time of year when everybody gets congestion issues, so on. So I'll probably be sniffling a little here and there, and so let me apologize for that. But so my all-star opponent is Southampton, who, not a great opponent, but still probably they're going to bring in better players than what I have. So we're going to roll out there and just kind of see what happens. We'll look at their team. I haven't really scouted them because why would I? Why would I scout Southampton? I'm not going to send my scouts to go scout a opponent for a glorified friendly. But some of you guys, English people, might recognize some of these names. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't recognize many of them. Carrillo, for some reason, I'm somewhat familiar with him. But that's the team they'll be bringing. It's not like not having to face Arsenal, or Man City. So not too worried. But it really doesn't matter. I don't even care if I lose this game. So that's Southampton, my team, the MLS All Stars. Really they're decent. It's kind of hard to tell what I've got, really, because I don't know these guys except for mine super well. I did try to set it up, and what I'm going to do is play the first 11 there, the first half, and then I'll rotate everybody so that all the players get to play. I do have my midfielder, Tomas Martinez, as the 12th sub, which means he might not even get in at all, which still, I would be okay with that because that keeps him, make sure that he's not going to have some kind of injury that's going to, whatever, cost me my season, which it always feels like in the first year when I play a MLS save, the first season, I always have a bunch of injuries at the end. If you saw my first, before I had to reboot the game I was playing, that happened and I got knocked out because of my injuries. So but this is I would say it's a relatively strong team. They should at least be competitive. They may not actually be able to win the match, but I'm not too worried if they don't. So here we go. We are at the Sports Authority Field in Denver to play this match. And I'm running my tactics. We're going to play 4-3-3. We're going to press. We're going to try and possess the ball and hopefully get a good win here. It looks like they'll be 4-2-3-1 wide. That's what pretty much everybody runs. Morale's not great. Everybody brings in their morale, I guess, from the teams that they're on. And the whole starting 11 is from not my team. My team's morale is pretty high right now. It could just be that none of these guys actually want to be here. So here we go. We are going to try and get a win here. Get a nice MLS win. The MLS has actually won more than half of these games. They have a winning record in the MLS All-Star game. I think last year they lost on penalties to Real Madrid. I know they've beaten Chelsea, they've beaten West Ham, they've beaten the MLS All-Stars have a good record in this game. So Ladaro to Nikolic to Valeri, who gives it up. hung on to it too long. That is one of the problems I have with the inside forwards is they hang on to the ball too much. But we get it back to Beasler, Schweinsteiger, who I started, to David Villa, all the way out to Valeri. Crosses it. Oh, gotta finish that, Nikolic. No, got Nikolic. Gotta finish that. So, shot on goal. We're having good possession. Things are going all right. I guess don't really care, but I mean, I want to win, but really, I just want to get out without any of my guys getting injured. Still controlling play. They seem to be sitting back. Let's up our risk a little bit. We'll go standard. Valeri, free kick. The keeper makes a decent save on. Outside to Valeri, Nikolic, who gets dispossessed. Slider to the middle, and here comes Southampton. Ooh, shot but saved by Tim Howard. Timmy's a great goalkeeper. Great American goalkeeper. One of the best ones that we've produced. But, you know, the U.S. produces a lot of goalkeepers. A lot of high level. Well, our goalkeepers is our strongest position historically. And, you know, I kind of think it's because kids grow up in our country playing so many sports where they do use their hands. You know, a lot of people, whatever, have a go at the USA because football is not the number one sport, and it's not. It's growing in popularity, importance, all those things, but, you know, basketball, football. Oh, and a goal by Beasler on a corner kick. Nice finish. Heads it in. The assist by David Villa. So I'll go ahead and drop down to a counter. Fully expect for them to start coming at me a little more, so I'll probably have to go defensive. All right. So, good first half. We got the 1-0 lead. 65% possession. That is good. They have no clear or half chances. We've got 2 clear, 1 half. Been denied by the woodwork a couple times. I'd say we're controlling this game. So we'll give the team, please at least you're going, keep it up. And I am going to go ahead and sub in the second 11. And Brad Guzan. And these are probably going to be the guys that blow it, but that's okay. Because this is just a friendly. And a lot of these guys came in having played a weekend match, like a lot of them. And so this was partly to keep my guys fresh. All right, we'll go to the pep talk. Defense. Believe in you. All right, so let's go win this thing. And I again apologize. And we got an offside. Which probably means they are pushing it. Yeah, you can see their line is high. They're running a high line. So I'm going to go ahead and put on my defensive. Back it off a little bit. So yeah, American goalkeepers. You know, in our country, we play tackle football. We play basketball, where you develop your hands a lot more. And so, because of that, I think it's just kind of more natural. Even if like you don't play organized basketball, you play it in the playgrounds. I'm sure in other countries you guys play football in the playground. We do some of that, right? As kids, we do a little bit of that. But predominantly, the sports we play the most in that situation is basketball and football. And so we just naturally develop our hands a little better, I think. And so, Giovanni Dos Santos with the goal. And we are up 2-0 on Southampton. So this will be a good result if we can hang on. They're dropping back, so I'll go counter. I'm not going to go did I get an injury? I don't even know if this guy is one of mine. I gotta go to my... Yeah, Almiron. Well, you know what that means. I gotta bring on my guy. Alright, Tomas. Oh, and Zusi with a yellow card, so we'll have him ease off, even though I really don't care if he gets sent off. So yeah, I you know, ever growing up, I've just always, you know, American goalkeepers are always our best player on the field. I can, of course, I go back to like Tony Viola, but Brad Friedel too was. I mean, obviously he played, you know, back in the '90s, but in the 2002 World Cup, he was legendary. Saved a PK against South Korea, which we would not have advanced had he not saved that. And he and he played in the Premier League for a while, played with Blackburn Rovers, I think, and I think he ended up with a West Ham or somebody. Now actually I'm pretty sure I saw that he's managing somewhere. Like, yeah, this is bad. I think he's managing a PDL or a MLS team. But, you know, then from Friedel, you went to Tim Howard, who, you know, other outstanding goalkeeper. You know, and I do understand he's not the best in the world, but, yeah, he did all right. Started with, almost gave one up on a counter there. Oh, that's right. Friedel is the manager of New England now. So, yeah, I think I remember about Friedel, though. The guy's from, like, Ohio, but he goes to play for Blackburn in the EPL. And then all of a sudden, he comes back and he's got, like, this fake British accent. He's, you know, it's not even, it was weird. It was like, it's not even like he was trying to speak British. He just, I don't know, it was really almost fake sounding. But he's a legend. That '02 World Cup alone was, you know, made him a legend. And the U.S. still right now has got a lot of young guys who, you know, they could be good, but we're not really sure. Waiting for one to kind of emerge. Bill Hamid, I know they're kind of high on him. Sean Johnson. So hopefully one of those guys develops into the next, you know, Brad Friedel. Guzan, I've never been crazy about Guzan. He was with Chivas USA, and he was not that good. But, you know, everybody told you, oh, yeah, he's going to be good. But, I don't know, he's just never impressed me. A couple of years ago in the Copa America, we're playing Argentina, and I still think the first, I don't remember how bad we lost, but I know 2 of the goals in that game I attributed to Brad Friedel because he was hesitant, and yeah, he's just, I don't know, he's never really impressed me. All right, so we get a win. That's a nice win. MLS All-Stars over Southampton 2-0. It's good. This is kind of a cool little feature in FM that you get to manage the MLS All-Stars. For me, it always happens in the first season and then never again. So I don't know how they choose the manager. I don't know what process FM uses. But here I am. So, great win. And looking at my guys didn't get injured. It looks like the only one I had was Martinez. Let's see. Yep, Tomas was my only guy on the team, which that's fine. I don't really care about getting guys on the All-Star team. I also win trophies. All right, so looking ahead, looking at my schedule, I think I said before that I'd come back at the Real Salt Lake game, but I think what I'm going to do is I'll wait if we make it to the Open Cup final. That's in like September, so that's right around this Colorado game. And I usually do pretty well at in the Open Cup, just because of the way I set it up. I set up my squad, as you can look here and see. I have a selection specifically for the U.S. Open Cup, and it allows me to put the best possible team that I can while staying within the 5, which I can only have. If you look here, and we'll do the little arrow thing, I can only have 5 foreign players on the Open Cup squad. So I put the best 5 of, I get the best lineup I can for the U.S. Open Cup. And then if I have a weekend game 3 days before, I don't play any of these starting 11. I sub all of them out so that they're fresh for the Open Cup, and because I play to win it. And so I usually do well. I win it more than I lose it, just put it that way. So if you can win a cup competition more than half the time, I'd say that's a pretty good record. So, but looking at Colorado, we'll play them on August the 2nd. And yeah, they'll have a game 3 days before against Portland. They're going to try to win that. So they'll play their first team squad then, and at best they'll have some guys in the low 90s, first teamers, and my team will be totally fresh. So if I can beat Colorado and get to the final, that's where we'll pick up with the next video. This is Uncle Sam FM. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments, if you have any suggestions, any criticisms, please post them in the comments. And we will see you the next episode.